This is absolutely absurd. PFF has ranked the Bengals running back room as one of the worst in the league. We're going to break down what they had to say, why they came to this conclusion, but how we can look at the X factors and be encouraged by what we could be seeing in 2025. Welcome to the jungle. This is Isaac Coffman with Bengals Digest. So happy to see you. And if you want to be up to date on all things Bengals, you're in the right place. Smash that subscribe button if you have not already. We appreciate you so much. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers. We want to hear from you as well and the community on this Bengals off season. So PFF just came out with rankings, and for the running back room, they have actually put the Bengals among some of the NFL's worst. Kind of interesting to see. Now, when we look at last year, it goes without saying it wasn't very consistent. Zack Moss had the starter role. He was picked up in free agency and suffered a season-ending injury, but this gave Chase Brown the opportunity to become the new starter. So it was kind of inconsistent at times. I can get why they might be feeling this way. However, there's a lot of potential. We'll get to what that running back room looks like. But here's what they had to say. This is why they came to this conclusion, saying that they are among some of the worst. This is coming from Dalton Wasserman. He said, the Bengals are known as a pass-heavy team, but they could still use some offensive balance. Their top rushing option is Chase Brown, who recorded just less than 1,000 yards and a 73.7 PFF rushing grade last season. Cincinnati lacks depth behind Brown, which could be an issue. Zack Moss played just 8 games last season and posted a 55.4 PFF rushing grade. Samaje Perrine returns to Cincinnati as a decent receiving option. 6th-round rookie Tahj could be a productive short yardage option if he can crack the rotation. First, I just want to say he's not entirely wrong in some points that are made here. The Bengals are a pass-heavy team. A lot of NFL teams are pass-heavy. Let's just get that out of the way. But going back to Chase Brown was not the starter the whole year. Zack Moss was also coming into a new scheme, into a new offense, new team. So to give him that rating on the short span that he played last year, I don't see that being entirely true. To look at the full picture, right? We have to really see what Zack Moss can do. I think Chase Brown is going to be your starter. That goes without saying. He proved himself. But saying, he had less than 1,000 yards. Well, he was not the starter for the full year. I don't think that's a fair assessment. Yes, he was playing in those games. He played nearly the whole year. He did have an injury towards the end of the year. But you can't really compare him to all the other starting running backs in the league for that reason. He was considered more of that young guy that was going to be backing up Zack Moss. But he produced in that short window, that little sample size, so to say. And I think that when you look at Chase Brown, you should get excited. This is now year 2 of him now having confidence being that starter. And in fact, the way they're approaching the running game should give you a lot of enthusiasm. This is what he had to say. Let's hear from Chase Brown and what he thinks about this running back room and its scheme and all of that. He says, it's exactly how I ran it at Illinois. It will be awesome. We're going to be a more downhill team this year. Eliminate some negative plays. Keep ahead of the chains. That's what matters in this league. Staying ahead of schedule. It's extremely important, and I think it's going to help us a lot. I love this. I love how he brings out it's going to be like how he ran it at Illinois. He had a really productive college career in Illinois. And to say it's going to feel like that, I'm all for making the players feel as comfortable as they can when it comes to their position. And that's huge. Talking about running more downhill, keeping ahead of the chains. That is exactly what you want to hear from Chase Brown and what this running back room is going to do. So you have Chase Brown. You also have Zack Moss. And the question is going to be whether they're going to keep 3 guys. They're going to keep 4 guys. We did a video about that as well because Samaje Perrine is the other running back that they picked up, and the Bengals are familiar with him. He was a big contributor. But Zack Moss is kind of, to me, more of the question mark. There was a lot of question of Perrine might be on the outside. Zack Moss is coming back from that injury. He had that season-ending injury, and he can produce. He can certainly show that he is a capable backup at the very least. But there are some concerns there. I don't think he's really got it as a lock as that backup. I see Perrine more of that backup, being familiar with the system. He has shown that he can block in third down. That's a huge thing that was really plaguing them last year. Those third down in a shotgun, lining up with Burrow, staying in there to block or go out for the pass. Brown did a very good job, but there was definitely room for improvement. That's what I'm excited to see about Brown. Perrine, I feel like you've got that. You've got a solid backup that can come in on third down, and he certainly showed it, obviously being in the Super Bowl. But the X factor to consider here is they have Tahj Brooks. That's a 6th-round pick that they just got this year. He seems like he could do it all. He's young. He's maybe not going to even make the team if they decide to go with 3. They decide maybe they just want solid from Zack Moss. They want solid from Perrine. Maybe they feel he's still got some growing to do. I feel like he's going to make this roster, though. I'm confident the skills that he has, that he showed in college, this was a deep running back draft, and he would have went a lot higher. He was a 6th-round pick, but because of how deep it was, he's not going to be this like super skill set, but he shows the tangibles. He's been described as a person that has that vision running backs. He's patient. That's what I want in a running back, is someone that's patient, because, you know, that's what the Bengals really need. They need that reliable, patient running back. They might need a running back that's going to be more in the passing game. Again, going back to their comments, the Bengals are a pass-heavy team. There's no getting around that. But I think that this team, you can keep doubting them. I feel like the doubt is what's going to make them great this year. They're going to be overlooked because the Bengals, again, they're known to be pass-heavy. So defenses are going to be focusing on Joe Burrow. They're going to be focusing on Chase, on Higgins, on Gesicki, all those guys. And they might be overlooking this running back room. But I could very well see Brooks being that X factor. He's young and he comes in. He might surprise people. I really feel like he's going to make a mark when he comes in, especially when it comes to preseason. I'm really interested to see those preseason games. He's going to be the #1 player I'm probably going to be watching personally. I really want to see how they line him up, how they use him. And that's what's got me excited, because he seems like he's very willing to block, be that third down back, but he could be like a Chase Brown guy. He could be your everyday, every down guy. I could really see that happening. So it'll be interesting. We got to watch and see how it develops. But overall, I think Chase Brown alone, I think he could be someone to watch out for. So to see them ranked so low, that running back room, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm a homer. You can call me that. But I just don't see him being so down low. They ranked the Bengals 27th out of 32. I don't know. With Chase Brown, I feel like they at least should crack the top 20. I see that going. As long as, like he was talking about, he feels comfortable in the system. He gets back to basics. I mean, he had a productive year last year. Let's see what he does in a full year. In fact, look at his stats. Just looking at last year, he played 16 games, 229 rush attempts, 11 touchdowns. Total yards, he had 1,350. I mean, not bad. He was ranked in the 70s on PFF grade. That's not typically a terrible rating. So again, it remains to be seen. I'm more on the enthusiastic side. I think, again, if they want to keep saying that they are not going to be that good of a running back room, keep the negative thoughts coming. I feel like the more negative that is, the more they're going to be overlooked, and the more of a surprise this running back room might actually be when it comes to that offensive attack. It'll be really exciting to watch that, if they can really click and take off. Ooh, pair that with Joe Burrow and that passing attack. I'm excited to see that. But we want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do you think this running back room is that kind of a ranking, about 27 out of 32, or do you think it should be higher? Let us know in the comments how confident you feel about this running back room going into the season. And again, if you have not already, be sure to smash that subscribe so you'll be all up to date with our videos as they drop, as they are new, and coming out with breaking news. So that's going to do it for now, guys. As we say, Uday.